Data sources of big data. I will talk about sources of big data. Where is data come from? At the starting chapter, we said data was part of our life. Everyday data comes. Is it the only thing? Is it the one place from where we get the data? Right? When you wake up and say, "Hey, what's up? How are you doing today?" That's data. So what are the sources of data? Where are the data come from? What are the different sources of data? Think about it. Here is an eye chart. An eye can illustrate how much data is being generated per minute. YouTube uploads about 48 hours of video per minute. In 10 days, they have loaded about 100 years century of videos. Google receives over 2 million search queries per minute. 571 new websites are created per minute where we register .com, .net domain names, right? You know domain registration is happening, websites being created. So this is the lot of data that is being generated on daily basis, on monthly basis, on weekly basis, on hourly basis, on minute basis that need to be processed. Instagram users shared 3,600 new photos and even more now. Now Instagram is famous application. So imagine how much data is generated per minute. Now before we going to the sources, how actually data become more prevalent? Any idea before Google came, how search engine operating? What are the famous search engines before Google came? Two of the leading search engine provider before Google came into the place are Lycos and Alta Vista. How did Lycos and Alta Vista fall and how did Google succeed? Let's understand the history behind this search. What do you think happened to Alta Vista and Lycos? Why they failed? And now the way Lycos and Alta Vista started all about. They were developing systems where they obtain information from people by employing people and asking them to update information. Then new concept came up by the Google with a similar mechanism but with platform that talks to people to upload information via a social website called Blogger. What happened with blog? Those older days we never had blog. We have blogs today. What's the purpose of blog? What does blog do? Everybody knows blogger.com, right? Or WordPress, lot of blogging sites. Write an opinion about it. It could be right or wrong. To express your own views, to express what you want to say about something. Write a review or critiques about something, right? Now the information is fading into the system by the people like you and me. Google doesn't come and ask you and put it back. The information is pushed into the system or rather it is not pushed, it is pulled, then pushed. In the olden days, we were pushing the information, but now the systems pull the information automatically. What would you write? They give a platform. That's strategy. That came when you put infrastructure in place which will store the data and then you give a platform where people can enter the data automatically. People who query that data get results. This is how Google model succeed. And today we have Google. Every answer is there in the Google. Whether right or wrong, it's a different thing, but everything is there in the Google. Right? Now coming to the sources. There are majorly 4 sources of big data. First one is social media. Other is cloud, devices and IoT. So first we will go to the social media sources. So social media is one of the key platforms that is trying to pull information from us by providing such a key environment for the users to put information. We have popular social media websites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, everything is there right today and we push information to it. Now move to next source of data. That is cloud. What is the cloud? What would you heard about this? Cloud is a storage place like Google Drive, Dropbox, even Microsoft gives this space, right? It's data that available to you anywhere you want, but you don't know where it is. Assume yourself, you are in a rainy day. Okay, there is lots of rain comes to you. Can you say the drop of water comes from which cloud? Can you pinpoint that this drop of water came from this cloud on the sky? No, that's how it is. In the cloud information space is a cloud of network where we get the bits and bytes of information, but we cannot pinpoint that bit and byte from which cloud of network it came from. It's something sitting on the sky of the computers. That's cloud. Cloud is contributing to big data domain again. Not in fullest way, but it's one of the most vital source if we know. For example, if you put all of your pictures, different types of clouds there. What are different types of cloud? One is public, private, hybrid. Your Google Drive, what sort of cloud it is this? Dropbox, public, because they are hosted by public service provider where you can upload information to it. Now what are the typical things you can upload your public cloud? On your Google Drive, will you upload your pictures? Will you upload your videos? Will you upload your salary slip? So why we can't upload salary slips on the Google Drive? Problem is that we want to store this data, but then I'm not able to genuinely trust whether this information can be stored genuinely or not. So it's basically as big data evolved, as networks evolved, still we are human beings haven't come out of trust factor to put the data. But let's say if your friend is telling you, hey man, or probably let's say not your friend, your father or your family person is telling you, okay, you can store your salary slip on my machine. You can think it like a private cloud. You don't know where is machine, but you give the file to him and then he store it. Would you do that? Will you put your salary slips to somebody close to you as a family member? It's still no, because it's again dealing with trust. Can you now store your salary slips to your computer or your hard disk? Yes, obviously, because we are in control of that machine, right? So the key we are making here is that cloud evolved, put data to contribute the big data because of trust factor of human being. Not all data goes into the cloud. It's majorly the data that is 80% not wanted by others, right? So this is why cloud seems to be a big challenge for a big data. And over a period of time, I think this will be sorted out, but cloud slowly picking up into the biggest big data source. That's all about social media and cloud data source of big data. We will study about other sources of big data like devices and IoT in next chapter. Thank you very much.